This is hands down one of the best deck sets ever made for the Digimon card game. Digimon and Beelzemon fans, welcome back, and today we'll be opening up the brand new Advanced Beelzemon Deck set, which is 100% the best deck set ever made. That is because this deck is intended to be competitively viable right out of the box to keep up to date with the most current format and meta. But like all my other starter deck video guides, it is always best to get yourself 2 copies to ensure that you have playsets of the most important cards. And that is exactly what we'll be showcasing today as well with the budget build utilizing the 2 copies, and I'll show you my take on it. I will also teach you guys how to play the deck with the combo segment later on, so make sure to pay close attention throughout the entire video. If you guys are more advanced players and want to see the full power build where we utilize other cards from outside of this set, then be sure to subscribe and turn on that notification bell right now to stay tuned for the full power version of the Beelzemon deck. Also, give this video a like while you're at it because it really helps out and I greatly appreciate the support. I'm also super excited to announce a new feature on my channel where I launched my very first ever YouTube membership called the Avault Club. By joining, you will have access to exclusive perks and contents that regular viewers don't have. Perks include the Avault Club membership badge, and the best part is that you'll be able to see members only community posts featuring my first draft deck profiles even before the video comes out. You will see more updates by me for every deck profile released and even updated deck lists and adjustments with all the lists. Your comments and questions will also have priority replies from me. So what are you guys waiting for? Click on the join button right now. Thank you all so much for the support and I look forward to engaging with you guys. Okay, here are the Beelzemon Advanced Deck sets. But just before we open them, we do have the 2 Beelzemon Cup participation, sort of pre-release pack right here, which is going to be really cool. Let's quickly open these 2 packs right here. First, this is what you get for participating in the Beelzemon Cup hosted by your local game store. And once again, reminder guys, this is why you should participate in these events. Really fun stuff, really cool. And let's check out what these cards are all about. I believe they're basically pre-release stamped versions of the existing cards of inside the deck. Some of them. So we have Witchmon right here, and they also get the holo upgrade as well, which is really nice. And first and foremost, the main thing you notice is instead of the pre-release stamp, it has a stamp that says Beelzemon Cup on it instead, and really cool stuff. And we got Candlemon right here. Honestly, I don't know what the exact card pool is inside this this pack, but all we know is just 2 cards per pack. I kind of highly doubt there's any of the level 6s. I think it's really for yeah, I don't know. I was gonna say it's probably for the uncommons and commons, but I guess we'll find out. Oh, Deathslinger in holo. Very nice. That's something I definitely like. Yeah, this can be now considered as the max rarity version of Deathslinger. It looks amazing with the Beelzemon Cup stamp on it and in holo too. One day we'll probably get an altar of this too. And we got Bemon, rare. Beelzemon stamp once again. Very nice, cool stuff. So yeah, super happy about it. I know people are super hyped on the Wizardmon, which is actually a reprint too. But anyways, let's get started with one of the advanced deck sets right here, the Beelzemon deck. Super excited to start playing this essentially, and hope you guys are also excited too and having a good time at your Beelzemon Cup during the weekend. Okay, this is a pretty big box compared to usual. Compared to last time with the Jessamon and Ragnarlordmon starter decks, they were a lot smaller. But that's because there's quite a few cool goodies inside here. Let's quickly check this out. We get a pack of Beelzemon sleeves dedicated for Beelzemon, which is very nice. Really cool, unique design, which I really like too. Works very nicely, yeah, with the B and everything. And I believe there's 50 sleeves in here. But yeah, very, very cool stuff. Of course, we get a playmat. Always nice if, you know, like say Bandai for the pre-release event or something like that, they hand out these playmats in rubber or cloth version That'll be really cool. That, just like kind of like yeah, really cool for like pre-release. Then that'll be really fun as like extra prizing other than just winner cards or additional cards. That'll be a really good idea for sure. But yeah, you get the artwork of this brand new Beelzemon here. Really cool stuff. But you know, highly doubt I'm gonna be using it really because it is a paper play mat, but also Impmon together here on the other side. So very interesting, very nice. But of course, we have the deck, and we also have some promo cards that we can go through. So really nice. I think they call this like promo alt art switch cards inside here, and of course the other thing that people are most like looking for to pull is the special Beelzemon inside in a alt art form, which like it's like metallic purple, which looks really really cool. But I wonder where would you actually find it if you were to see it. But anyways, here we have Gilmon from Starter Deck 7. I swear they reprinted this card so many times in different alt arts already. We got Bemon here, which is also from Starter Deck 8, All-Force Digimon Starter Deck. They reprinted this a lot as well. We got Argomon now from BT2. This card becomes unsuspended during unsuspend phase. Gain a memory, very very nice. Tactical Retreat, really nice artwork once again. Sunarizamon, a very good reprint that is definitely needed, because this is a promo that is very good standard staple card for any black decks essentially. Pagumon, the one that's really good as well from Starter Deck 6. And then we also have Impmon. This is the EX2 one with a brand new alt art, which looks really nice and textured as well with the foiling. Very very good. Really good card too that you're gonna need. Also, you get 2 copies of that. And then we also have this reprint of Beelzemon from BT2, the secret rare in alt art with fantastic alt art texture. Once again, very very nice. This card was incredibly expensive in price, but you know, kudos to Bandai for reprinting this one inside this set so that you can actually even be playable in this deck, which is really nice. Oh, so you only get 1 copy of that one, I believe, or maybe they got stuck together, I'm not sure. And here we're rounding off with one of the most hyped brand new alt arts in the set, which is X Antibody. Really cool. Love the artwork. You can actually see Omnimon X Antibody, Alphamon, and X Antibody right in the middle, and probably a Dex or Def Xmon, Dex Dorgoramon, the background as well. Looks fantastic. Super happy. Really cool way to play X Antibody now. So that's what we have. Okay, so moving into the deck, actual deck right here. Really cool thing is, I believe every single card inside this deck is hollow. So it's almost kind of like max rarity already. So let's go through and see what we got. We got, I'm pretty sure like 4 copies of the Yammon. This new one is really good because when attacking once returned, if this Digimon has Wizard or Demon Lord in its traits, trash the top 2 cards of your deck. Really good synergy for sure. We got the brand new Impmon right here. So more Impmon stuff, really good. When attacking, if you have 20 or more cards in your trash, if this Digimon may Digivolve into Beelzemon from your trash for the cost of 3, ignoring its Digivolution requirements. Warping Digivolve is really, really good. Gives an inheritable as well. Your turn once returned, when a card is trashed from your deck, delete one of your opponent's level 3 Digimon. Very nice. And we get 2 copies of this one, textured. Next we got Candlemon. On play, trash top 2 cards of your deck. On deletion, if you have 10 or more in your trash, draw 1. 4 copies of this guy. And then we have Fascomon, which is basically the blocker for the deck, but also it can't attack players. 4 copies of this guy as well. And then we have Porcupamon, which is another blocker, moving into the level 4s already. And on play, it trashes the top 2 cards of your deck too. 4 copies of this one. And then we have Witchmon, which we did see earlier with the Beelzemon stamp on it. We can even see Wizardmon in the artwork, which looks pretty cool. When Digivolving, trash the top 3 cards of your deck. It has an inheritable. Your turn, while this Digimon has Wizard or Demon Lord in its traits, extra 2 KDP. 4 copies of that. Very good. And then we have the new Bowmon, which is actually very similar to the BT10 one. When I first read the effect, I think. When Digivolving, you trash the top 3 cards of your deck. When Digivolving, it gains a on deletion. If there are 10 or more cards in your trash, you may play one Beelzemon from your trash for free until the end of your opponent's turn. Pretty interesting, but also gives an inheritable of extra 2k during your turn for Wizards and Demon Lords too. Very similar to Witchmon. And yeah, 4 copies of this rare right here. So I think that's it for our level 5s. And here comes the main star of the show. Beelzemon, brand new, fantastic artwork. Really, really nice comic-y, comic vibes, superhero comic, supervillain vibes in this. I love it. Cost 4 to digivolve. When digivolving, trash the top 4 cards of your deck. All turns once returned, when a card is trashed from your deck, gain 1 memory for every 10 cards in your trash. Really good all turns effect too, huh? Your turn once returned, when a card is trashed from your deck, gain security +1. Pretty strong, pretty strong. And of course we have 2 copies. Next we have Beelzemon. This one's very interesting too. Digivolve for 3 on top of level 5, purple. When you play this card from your hand, reduce the cost by 4 for every 10 cards in your trash. Okay, very similar to the original one where you get to reduce your play costs. And then all turns once returned, when a card is trashed from your deck, you can play 1 Impmon from your trash without paying memory costs. Then the Digimon played via this effect gains Rush for the turn. Pretty good. And an opponent's turn, when an opponent's Digimon attacks, trash the top card of your deck. Pretty interesting. Pretty interesting. Definitely have some synergy. So you got 2 copies of that. And then you got the level 7 Beelzemon Blast Mode. Really cool once again. Fantastic artwork. Really nice stuff. When this card is trashed from your deck, delete one of your opponent's Digimon level 3 or lower for every 10 cards. Increase the level by 1 that you can choose. So very similar to like Deathslinger. Very similar to the old one from EX2 as well. When digivolving, unsuspend this Digimon. If you have 20 or more cards in your trash, you gain 3 memory back. Essentially, just digivolving it for 1 cost is going to be really good in this deck. That's it for the level 7s. Then we have the Tamers, a brand new Ayamako, which is not a memory tamer. However, it has a lot of good effects because on play, it searches for the top 4 cards of your deck, adding yourself 1 evil, wizard, or demon lord, and then place the rest at the bottom. And then also your turn, when one of your Digimon digivolves into purple Digimons, by suspending this tamer, return 1 card from your hand on top of your deck and then gain 1 memory. So you can set up how you want to trash things too, which is going to be really, really good. And you do have 4 copies of this one. And then we have this brand new option here, Rivals Barrage. This is a really, really good option. Very good because it has a lot of synergy with the actual deck and with Beelzemon both at the same time, which is really good. If this card is trashed in the deck, place it into the battle area. If you use this option, its main effect is to delete one of your opponent's Digimon with the highest level, and then its delay effect, by trashing it from your battle area, return 1 purple Digimon card or tamer from your trash back to your hand, which is really good, and its security effect basically deletes things too. Really, really good card, really nice, and we get 2 copies of it. So I think that's it for all the new cards, and right here we're moving on to the reprint cards. Of the old cards, we have this brand new Impmon on deletion, trash 3, really, really good, 4 copies. The Wizardmon, which has a reprint, which is really good call because this card was pretty expensive, I remember, for not much reason, but this one is really good synergy because when it's trashed, you get to gain 1 memory back. Skull Satamon from BT8, also great synergy, 1 digivolving, trashing 2 from the top of your deck, and then you get to add 1 Demon Lord back from your trash to your hand, and has an inheritable of gaining your memory back too. Really good. And then Deathslinger in Hollow, fantastic, like I said earlier, but with the stamp, looks even better. And that's it as we round off with the memory gauges and the sort of how to play guide once again. So notably, 1 copy of this deck is supposed to be really, really good, but of course, if you want to really optimize it, this is why we have the 2nd copy of the deck. Nothing too different to really showcase, but we're just going to open this here to show you guys right now, because exactly same contents, but let's just see if we're able to pull that secret special rare card in it, and I don't know where it would be, because I never opened this product before, but it might be somewhere. But once again, we got the playmat, so I'm just going to quickly go through this. Promo cards, is it somewhere inside the deck, or is it somewhere inside the promo, like, alt arts? I have no idea. Let's find out and quickly go through this. So once again, same cards as before. So 2 Impmons and 1 Beelzemon. So I thought we get 2 copies of this one, but I guess this is all we really get to work with. So 1 copy from each deck, but we do have 2 copies because we have the 2 copies of the deck. Wonder if this is here. Is it at the back type of thing? No, not at the back. Is it where at the Beelzemon is? Maybe I should just go through this like properly to quickly skim through it. Yeah, it doesn't seem like we got anything here. But I guess, yeah, not today. But now that we got the deck gone through and opened the product and stuff, let's go into the deck profile with the budget build for sure. Alright, let's begin with our Digi-Egg cards. We play the 4 copies of the Yamon. Really, really good synergy, like I mentioned earlier. Just really great because you can trash top 2 cards of your deck every time you attack once per turn. And that's really the egg all you need with the 4 copies of. You guys can play a copy of the Pagumon if you want to amp it up to the 5th egg. Otherwise, you guys can really juggle between the ratios between like the 4 Pagumons and 1 Yamon. Whatever you prefer, really, honestly, but I prefer the Yamon for this specifically build. Then, let's move into our rookies. Brand new rookie, brand new Impmon right here, which is all going to be Impmons in our rookie lineup, really. We got the 4 copies of this guy. This one is really mainly letting us to warp Digivolve for 3 costs, which is very memory efficient, really, really good. And also giving the inheritable of being able to delete smaller things on board too. So yeah, 4 copies is a must. Then we got the EX2 Impmon, really great, as we always talked about. Fantastic artwork as well. If it's milled without its own effect, other than like an Impmon EX2 effect, you get to mill extra additional cards with this guy's effect, which is really, really good. And on play, it lets you search. Super versatile card too, because it has an inheritable, extra 3k during your turn if you have Beelzemon and its name too. Yeah, this card is just so much value in, you know, by itself all alone. And you definitely want to run 4 copies of no matter what for sure. Then bringing back the good old BT11 on deletion, mill 3. Just a really good card, really great early game card to help you mill and turbo mill. That's really great setup. That's your main game plan anyways with your rookie. Let's talk about our level 4s now. For Wizard Mons, this is just always really good because if you ever do trash him from your deck, you get to gain that memory back. Also, it has an inheritable of when attacking, you can review 1 purple card in your hand, put it back at the top of your deck, and then really comboing with your trashing combos basically, and you can really choose and be selective and plan ahead, which is really, really good card. Then we have 4 copies of the new Witchmon, also really good because when digivolving, trashing more cards, and inheritable giving extra DP is nice. Then to round off for the level 4s, just the 2 copies of the Pokepamon, just as our blocker that we kind of need it sometimes, and also has on play effect to trash more cards. Really, really great synergy, and that's it for the level 4s. Next, let's talk about our level 5s. Brand new 4 copies of the Bemon here. Trashing cards, always great. Inheritable effect, really good too. When digivolving, it gets that on deletion effect too. Really good as long as you have 10 or more cards in your trash. You can play the Beelzemon back from your trash for free. Really great value too. And then inheritable, extra 2000 DP. Really makes your top end super strong with all those DP buffs. And then to round off level 5s, 4 copies of the Skull Satamon. Great for recurring stuff, grabbing stuff back, trashing stuff, gaining memory, extending your turn, allowing you to do more combos is why this card is really good. That's it for level 5s. Let's talk about our level 6s. Of course, the star of the show, the cover card, the brand new, super strong Beelzemon, which you have to play 4 copies of this guy for sure. Even though it costs 4 to digivolve, it's very memory efficient. You can reduce its cost effectively or technically by gaining memory back with all your other effects. Because when digivolving, trash the top 4 cards of your deck. If you mill something like a Wizardmon or Deathslinger or whatnot, you can basically make it pay for 3 instead. And then all turns, once per turn, when the card is trashed from your deck, you get to gain 1 memory for every 10 cards in your trash, so he gains memory himself too. Really good effect. And then also security +1. He gains the security +1 for the turn, so if you digivolve it even further, you retain that security +1, which is why this is your key boss Digimon. You want to get into this level 6 as soon as possible usually. Here's your aggression and start swinging in and use it to finish games and apply pressure and deal loads of damage and just mill even more cards and gain memory. Then 1 copy of the BT2 secret rare one. Just another really good Beelzemon name and Beelzemon card that we can have. We can warp digivolve it as well, as long as we have 10 or more cards, but we do have to pay 4 costs, but we get to warp it, which is really nice. Skipping all the other levels is always going to help us turbo into it very quickly, and we go into level 7 play even, and it pops a level 4 or lower when digivolving too, so it's very nice to have every now and then. Then we got 1 Beelstarmon as sort of like a tech choice right here. Not necessarily for the deck really, but it's kind of nice and kind of clutch. It can sometimes help you win games, which is nice in the late game. Just an extra option of a card that you can play, which I definitely like to have for sure. And yeah, really good card. Then our level 7s. 3 copies of Blast Mode. Fantastic artwork once again. If this guy is trash from the top of your deck, you delete one of your opponent's level 3 Digimon. And you get to increase the level by 1 for every 10 cards you have in trash, which is really good because you can pop even bigger things in a later game. But really, you usually want to save this card in your hand eventually, or get access to this card eventually, so you can Digivolve it and then gain the 3 memory back and have a really big body on the board. 14k, and with the extra DP buffs from all the inheritables, you can swing in security with massive checks with this card, which is why it's really, really good. And being able to unsuspend, very nice for sure. That's it for all of our Digimon. Let's talk about our Tamers. Well, we only have one Tamer to play, which are the 4 copies of the I Am Mako. Like I mentioned during the opening, this is so efficient. It searches, it gains you memory back when you Digivolve. Really, really great brand new card, and with all these memory gaining effects, you probably don't even need like a memory tamer no more in this particular deck too, which is what makes it really efficient and really, really good. That's it for Tamers. Let's talk about options. 4 copies of Death Slingers is a must. When it gets trashed, gain a memory, otherwise it is your main removal defensive card as well, to basically delete one of your opponent's Digimon that's level 4 or lower and increase the level by 1 for every 10 cards in your trash. Really, really good card. And then last but not least, 3 copies of Rivals Barrage here. Really great because when it's milled, you get to place it in your battle area, which is really, really efficient, really great. And its main effect, if you hard play it for 7 costs, you delete your opponent's Digimon, that's one of them, with the highest level. And then its main delay lets you trash it from the battle area and return 1 purple card or tamer card from your trash back to your hand. So you can cycle stuff back every time when you mill cards that you don't want to be seeing in the trash, but you want to grab something as an additional resource, is why this card is also super good. And it's 7 cost too, which has a lot of relevance with Beelzemon Starter Deck if you ever do choose to play Beelzemon Star 2. Alright, now that we got the deck profile completed, let's talk about the how to play and a combo guide segment of this deck. And it's really, really cool because you really just, of course, hatch your egg, and you want to be digivolving into this Impmon in the early stages of the game. You could hard play this one to search, which is really good. You want to be setting up your I Am Makos during the early stages of the game as well. And if you don't see much of your pieces, you will move this guy up and just swing into your opponent's security and just have its on deletion effect so that you can mill cards. Keep in mind, Yammon doesn't really activate here because it doesn't fulfill its trait requirement, but that's okay. Otherwise, you want to be really just building your stack nowadays with Beelzemon. The Beelzemon deck is much more different than before. Before, you would try to use Impmons and lower securities to mill your cards and then build your stack in raising to sort of like go for the next combos. But nowadays, rather than doing so that, you can do these kind of plays, but you can Digivolve here, and you can not be shy and come out and just start Digivolving in the battle area. Because let's just say you Digivolve into Wizardmon, although he doesn't provide any immediate value, but you're stacking up some effects. Otherwise, you can Digivolve into Witchmon, which does give you when Digivolving effects. So now it's really good because you can trash your top cards of your deck while Digivolving at the same time, because when you go to your level 5s and Digivolve into Bemon, he trashes cards from the top of your deck. If you Digivolve into Skull Sanamon, it also trashes cards from the top of your deck, and you want to be continuing to do so until you reach to your level 6, of course, going into your Beelzemon. So it really depends on how much memory you have, but you want to make sure that you have enough sufficient memory and you have milled enough sufficient cards to go for the big turn combo. So really, once again, the memory depends, but let's just say you start your turn at 1 and you Digivolve in, you move up your Bemon, or your Bemon's already here, you Digivolve into Beelzemon for 4 costs, which essentially is for 3. You get to mill cards, and depending on what you mill, you can probably gain memory back. If you say milled a Death Slinger, for example, then you get to gain 1 memory here. If you milled I Am Mako, you get to suspend them to return 1 card from your hand to the top of the deck, and then mill more stuff. So you can really like plan ahead. If you want to put like a Rivals Barrage, that works as well. So you can, yeah, really great card to plan ahead, and you mill this, so placing this, and or find different ways to gain memory. And of course, depending on how much cards you have in trash, Ideally, you might want to have like 2 or 3, like 20 or 30 by the late game stages. You get to gain like a bunch of memory back, and Beelzemon will basically get like security +1 at this moment. You can swing immediately for 2 checks, and it's already at 14k, and you get to mill more stuff with Yaman as well. You get to delete a level 3, and you get to review 1 purple card from your hand and basically set up for more milling. Really great in versatility, and the reason why you want to make sure you be at 1 memory is because you want to then go into your bigger plays where you can digivolve for 1 into Beelzemon Blast mode. Of course, you do pay for more memory, passing your opponent to 3 first, but you know, you want to make sure that you should have 20 cards by this time when you're all gone all the way to your top end combo. So when you have 20, you gain the 3 memory back, he unsuspends, and you get to retain your turn, and you get to swing for another 2 checks right here, which is really good. And you can then use these rookies on the side if you have to finish the game. If not, if you chip your opponents down in the early stages, you could have actually like swing twice, and that could have even just ended them right there. And very simple combo. Definitely gets a little bit complicated when it comes to trashing, so mastering the trashing capabilities and the effect triggers and planning ahead on what you do is really how you sort of improve and play this deck more. In other situations, if you have a little bit more memory to work with, you can utilize your different imp mons to sort of warp Digivolve. You can utilize this one to warp into a Beelzemon. You can warp into this one for 3 costs, which is really good. Otherwise, you can warp into this one too for 3 costs without using this as effect, mainly using this imp mon's effect instead, because you have 20 cards in your trash, into either Beelzemon, so you're becoming more memory efficient, mill more cards, gain that memory back once again, swing with either Beelzemon here, and then you can also go into the top end blast mode afterwards to unsuspend, which is also really good. And then in some situations, you can play that 1 Beelstarmon in some specific scenarios, and you get to play Imp Mons back, like an Imp Mon against the Rush, so you can do an extra security check with her effect as well, which is really good. And yeah, that's basically a lot of the different ways that you can play this, and these are the main core combos that you can sort of pull off with this deck and just the budget variant itself, which is really cool. That'll wrap up for the deck opening and the deck profile for the Beelzemon Advanced Deck set for today. If you guys enjoyed the video and found it helpful, please give it a like. If you have any suggestions, recommendations, or questions, be sure to share it with everyone in the comments down below. Like I mentioned earlier, we'll be showcasing the full power Beelzemon deck very soon after this video, so you definitely want to be sure to hit that subscribe button right now and turn on that notification bell to stay tuned. As always, thank you so much for watching. You guys have a great day, great night, wherever you are. See you next video, and this is Avault, signing out.